Today I'm going to recap a sci-fi thriller film released in 2017 called Lucid Dream. This movie tells the story of a father who looks for his missing son. After investigating for 3 whole years, he still hasn't found any clue about his whereabouts. However, he starts to get some clues after he tries a newly developed method where he can visit his past in his dream. Will he be able to find out the truth? Let's find this out together. The story of the movie begins with the main character named Dae-ho, who works as a reporter. He gets into trouble since he likes to expose high-ranking scandals of important people. However, he doesn't mind the heat since he does this in the name of justice. One day he has an appointment with his son to go to an amusement park together since he doesn't have much time with his son because of his job. At home, he finds out that his son's hand is injured. He asked his caretaker Wind, gets a little bit angry seeing to some calling be injured because of his health condition. After that they go to the amusement park and play some rides. When they see a show that a photographer takes the photos of Dae-ho and his son secretly. Noticing this oddity and the awareness as a reporter who has many enemies, he comes to him and asks why he takes their photos secretly. The photographer says that he just gets touched by seeing the bond between him and his son, so he takes the photos. He even offers to send the photos to his email, and he agrees. Since experiencing that incident, he starts to increase awareness of the people around him. Then he goes to a store to buy food for his son and bumps into a stranger. He does not really care about it until he finds out that his son is not in his seat off today. Hope buys the food. Dae-ho starts to panic and search for his son. Fortunately, he finds his son sitting near the water fountain. He sighed since his mother leaves into America so that he cannot see her anymore. But his smart son starts to realize that his mother might not be in America, after all, hinting his father to tell him the truth. In that place, he makes his father promise not to leave him like his mother did, and Dae-ho takes the promise. Afterwards, he wants to ride America around. Dae-ho watches him from outside the fence while filming him riding America around. After one round, he realizes that his son is missing. He gets panicked and looks around for his son. When looking around suddenly, he slowly loses consciousness and realizes that the needle has stopped his leg. He tries to keep conscious, but he cannot. The last thing he sees is his son being taken by someone else. 3 years have passed, yet Dae-ho still cannot find his son, although he has collected all of the photos he caught. He also has asked for help from a police detective named Song, but there is still no clue where his son is. Nevertheless, he never gives up to keep searching for his son. One day he searches on the internet and finds out the news about Lucid Dream. It says that the culprit in another nation was found because of Lucid Dream. Lucid Dream is a condition where the experience can go back to a situation he wants to get the details of the experience in a dream. Also, he finds out that the inventor is his friend's name, Sohyun, who is a doctor. He is attracted to this method and immediately calls Hyun's. At first Hyun refuses to use Lucid Dream to Dae-ho since she is not sure it will be effective and can harm the user if it is used continuously. However, Dae-ho insists he won't do it on him because he feels like it is the only way to get the clues. In the end, Hyun is willing to do it. She explains today how Lucid Dream works. The maximum time he can be in Lucid Dream is only 10 minutes. The difference between the real world and Lucid Dream is the second hand on the watch does not move. Hyun says that if he wants to get out of his dream, he must press the 2 buttons she is given. After understanding all the fumes instructions, he starts to be injected by Lucid Dream liquid. After a while, he entered a lucid dream. He still needs an adaptation when he is in a lucid dream. He goes back to the situation when he was in the amusement park with his son. He retraces the events from the beginning and observes the people around him. Then he notices a face of a man he has never seen before. He's suspicious of that person. He follows and chases him to the top of a building, and suddenly he wakes up from his dream. He wonders why he can get out of his dream even though he didn't press the button at the tool. You don't ask him if he did things that deviate from the original flow at the event. Dae-ho confirms that question. He says that he's trying to chase a suspicious man he never met before and tells you about his characteristics. Then you'll give him a picture that reflects the characteristics. Dae-ho confirms that he sold out man and his dream. Hearing that he won't ask him to ignore that man since he always appears in everyone's dreams when they have lucid dreams. Afterwards, he asks him to inject the liquid again because he wants to try it one more time. He finds a clue that his son's kidnapper has a specific tattoo on his right hand. From that day, he keeps trying to find the clues from lucid dream and tells them that it works. Song then continues the investigation. Every day they try to connect the dots from the new clues they get. He even asked the burger seller to do the lucid dream since the tattooed man also bought something on he stole the day when his son was missing. Long story short, they have successfully identified 2 suspects, named you, the man who stopped the needle, the man who has a tattoo on his hand. By these results, his hope to find his son keeps increasing day by day. However, there is a problem during the investigation. One of the police informs that Charlie had a car crash 2 years ago and he is still in a coma in the hospital to that day. His condition is not improving and might pass away anytime soon, so they can't get any information from him. One day in the morning, he just woke up after investigating the case in the police office. He goes out from the detective's office and finds out that the detective is calling someone which later he knows is his daughter. After that day, Ho tells Song that he will leave the office and he needs to go somewhere. It turns out that day Ho goes to visit a private detective cold calling and asked his help to find you. However, it turns out that day Ho is followed by an unknown man when he visits Kong's place. The next day Kong informs that Yu is at the airport because he intends to move to another region. Then Dejo rushes to the airport to catch him before the flight and cools him to tell him that he has found Yu. Dejo immediately searches for him everywhere until he suspects a man in black suit entering the toilet. He follows him and opens the toilet doors one by one. He realizes that Yu has changed his clothes and runs away. He directly runs out of the toilet and chases him to the car park. He grabs him and frantically asks where his son is. Yu says that he knows nothing about his son and says that only Chilling knows everything. Yu also says that his son might no longer live in this world. Hearing this information, Dejo gets shocked and refuses to believe it. Then Sum arrives and arrests Yu. Since his son got kidnapped, he keeps thinking that this is the act of a person who holds a grudge against him, whose crime has been exposed. After that, Song asks they hope to have a drink with him in a small store. Sum tells him about his daughter that has had heart disease since she was born. As an effect, she can't be properly like a normal person. She is at the same age as his son. To comfort Dae-hope, he says that he will keep searching for his son until he's found. The next day he gets called by a police staff that something bad happened to Yu in his cell. Song says that there must be an insider who has planned this incident. Dejo feels so frustrated since he has lost one of the most important clues. One day when Dae-hope goes to the hospital to meet your own, he sees an important person escorted by many bodyguards that. His name is Chairman Joe. He asks Yu on why he is that. It turns out that he also does lucid dream procedure to meet his son who has passed away because of a car crash. Human wonders if he is one of many enemies he has because of his reported job. However, Dae-hotel said that Chairman Joe can't be a suspect since he never has a problem with him. To convince himself, he visits his reporter friend and searches for Chairman Joe's information. His friend tells him that he didn't have a problem with him, but he did expose his son's crime scandal. Then he also tells that his son got in a car crash and passed away since he didn't get blood transfusion. His blood type is MK, which is very rare. Only 20 people in Korea have that blood type. Dejo is surprised since his son's blood type is also MK. He immediately thinks that the suspect is Chairman Joe to avenge his son. Then he follows him to his company and an unexpected thing happens. Instead of seeing Chairman Joe, he sees the mysterious man he met in his first lucid dream named Kwan. He then explains to him that he indeed visits his dream by sharing dream. It means that he equalizes the frequency of that dream waves. After that day, Hu gets an idea to enter Choi's dream so that he can know what really happened from his point of view. Going to Greece to help him and starts to work on his sharing dream. After successfully entering his dream, Dejo searches for clues. He finds a name list of the people who have a rap let tight. Dejo tries to remember all the names that. Sights. He also sees how he got into a car crash. In that dream, he sees the license plate of the car that caused him to crash. When he wakes up, he immediately meets Khan and I asked him to find who has that calm. After that he goes to the police station to tell somebody has got more clues from sharing dream. Then he starts to search for those names information until he gets information about a patient named Tasujin. Soon afterwards he goes to the hospital where she is treated. He enters her room and I ask the nurse about Soo-jin's condition. The nurse says that she has heart disease. Along with it, Kong calls him and tells him he has found the owner of the car. It turns out that the real culprit oldest time is Detective Song. He kidnaps his son to take his heart for his daughter since they both have the same red blood type. Dajo immediately goes to his car without knowing that Song is already in his car to kidnap him. Sung takes him to the lakeside and tells that his son is still alive. He doesn't know his location either because instead of taking him to Song, Cherry hid his son somewhere unknown since he felt guilty of the kidnapping him. Chili then escaped, but some found him and chased him until he got into a car crash. However, thanks to Dae-hope, he now knows about that shed dream he had done with Korn before and plans to do the same to find out where he hid him. He's about to take care of Dae-hope by drowning him in the lake, become save him. Sung then visits Kwon and forces him to set up a shared dream with Charlie. Dajo also does the same as him with the help of Your-own. They meet in Choice Stream and have a fight to get his son's location. After struggling for a while, Dae, who manages to beat Song and gets his son's location before Charlie dies. Song said sorry to his daughter for failing to get a transplant for her as he goes down in the destroyed dream world of the dying Charlie. The story ends with Dajo finally reuniting with his son after 3 years of excruciating nightmare. He picks up his son at 9 He Catholic Church and lives happily ever after. In life, there must be problems to deal with. The problem you face is a responsibility that you must solve without hurting or harming others, which means that you can't pass your problems on to someone else for the sake of your own happiness. However, do you think what Detective sounded to save his daughter by kidnapping Dajo's son is reasonable? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and as always, see you next time.